Hey guys, there's Kuzomari here, back with another live stream. I'm gonna let some people get in here. Also check if this stream is live. I've been having some problems here. Oh, looks like we are live. Okay, so we are live. Okay, just for the re-upload people, for when this is re-uploaded, just like the title says, I'm drawing the new Mech series I'm working on. It is new, but there is one chapter out, 22 pages, noircaesar.com. You can probably find it. You should be able to find the link to Noir Caesar in the description below. And, yeah, you can read the first 6 pages for free. Just gonna shoot over a little pic real quick to my Instagram. Oh, I'm actually gonna get some music playing here real quick. Gonna go to my Instagram here. How is everyone doing? How's everyone doing? Alright, live. Just shooting this over to my Instagram. Live streaming. Oh, I also didn't say the name of the series. It's Ordinal Tempest. Alright, live stream Ordinal Tempest page now. Link in bio. Change the color of that to yellow. Live streaming Ordinal Tempest page now. Link in bio. And upload. Alright, let's get to it. So that way I can get straight to some content before people get bored, you know what I'm saying? Let me see if the audio's working here at least. Oh, yep, it seems like the audio's working there. It's your boy. Hey, what's up, anime streamer? And hello there, Zabagoriski. And what's up there, Luna? Alright, let's get to this. Alright, took a drink of coffee, now let's get to it. First stream. First stream of mine you made it to, is that what it is? If you have any questions, just ask, and I'll do my best to answer them. big of a mouth there. Just going here real quick to make sure. Hopefully, going there and going back here will make sure it'll let me get any comments that come through live onto the screen. But oh. Alright, hope the audio is better now. My headphones weren't plugged in once again. Nice. Thank you. Yo, what's up, Chesuta? Yeah, sorry I haven't been I was like in my last stream I was like, I got this video I'm gonna be uploading. And I do have the video, but all of a sudden I don't know, I had to get this chapter started and I had to get a lot of work done on it. Like, for any of you who know, I actually work on 2 series simultaneously. Like Arms of the Dragon, its first volume is coming out to stores next month in the US, and it will be available online for digital purchase and physical volume purchase for anyone who would maybe want to buy it. You can buy a digital copy in the US too, but I mean anyone who can't give the physical copy in a store because it's not going to be outside the US for physical copy in stores, you can always get it online. Arms of the Dragon. But yeah, Arms of the Dragon's volume is going to be coming out next month, and then I'm working on Ordinal Tempest right now, the serialization, until eventually enough for the first volume will come out, and that enough chapters, and then the first volume will most likely come out as well. Unless by some chance the series majorly flops, but we are trying everything in our power to not let that happen. Then again, this is only the 2nd chapter, so. And this is the hard hitter. This is the chapter you want to make sure this is the time to start reading it. What's up, Rodrigues from Brazil? What's up from Brazil there? I'm really bad at saying any names, reading any names. So if I butcher anyone's name, you're welcome. No, I'm sorry. But yeah, I'm sorry if I butcher anyone's names. Uh, just for a little talking, for talking's sake. I've been inking on my Cintiq for a little while now, for like a day or two, instead of my iPad, just to give my iPad a rest. Because for those of you who know, I primarily use my iPad, and I've been using it for like months straight, just day after day after day, recharging it like maybe 3 times a day because I use it so much. And I was like, I need to give this a rest every once in a while, you know? just every once in a while. I think I need to give this a little bit of a rest because of how much I was putting on. Not like it was glitching or anything. It's just also for battery's sake, because I was working on it while it was charging too, because I couldn't take time away from what I was doing. So I was putting a lot of work on this device. We'll give it a bit of a break. But I like the Cintiq at first, except for the screen quality. It's nothing compared to the iPad. But yeah, I liked the Cintiq at first, and I was like, oh, this is cool. But I think it was just like a honeymoon stage of like, it's not like I just bought the Cintiq, but I think it was that honeymoon stage of when you try something different after doing something the same for a little while. Kind of gives you this nice feeling, like this, just a different pace of work, and you're like, oh, this is fun. And then all of a sudden it kind of started to sit in, or it didn't feel as natural because I've been using the iPad for so long. And I went back to the iPad today, and I was like, oh wow, like, I don't know, it just felt so much more natural to have the iPad back in my hands again while drawing. The Apple Pencil, the iPad, the sleekness, the beauty. One thing that's kind of annoying about the stylus, I know this is something you get used to when you're drawing on a Wacom tablet, but how big the frickin' tip is. I noticed when I was drawing, um, the tip would a lot of the time get in the way of what I was trying to draw, and I wouldn't be able to see what I was drawing, and I was like, what the One thing I do like about the Apple Pencil is it's almost the size of like a standard G pen, the connector to a G pen. It's pretty nice. That's one thing I do really like about it. Let's see. Let's go up here. Let's make sure the draw isn't too big here. Let's go here and I want to make sure this head is doing what I want it to be doing. Do I want it to be going in? That, but Hmm. Yeah, you know, I've been putting this iPad under such a heavy load that I don't think I don't know, like the short-term memory, something about it was, I never noticed that it was slowing down a little bit, but I noticed now that I feel like it is moving a little bit more fluently. Because, I mean, let's just put it in this perspective. I was drawing on this for, at the very minimum, about 7 hours a day. Normally it would be around 10 to 12 hours every single day. And this iPad would just be getting run ragged. So, I don't know, giving it like a day rest, I think it did some good. Let's see. Yeah, I like that direction better. So her body's not going forward because she has her arm wrapped around her in the atmosphere I'm trying to create here. I like this back body motion. Like she's going like this, her body's going like this. Baby kicker. Okay. Hey yo, baby kicker. That's a name there. um yes, quit the name. I always forgot about it. As we can tell, for those who've been watching me draw this from the beginning here, I kind of started to draw over this bubble, but it was needed, and now I need to figure it out. Dawn Pawn. Hey, it's me again. Hey, hello. Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? One thing is I'm actually pretty bad at drawing women. So I've been working on how to draw women better, more and more. Just go with rounder face. But yeah, but there's a little bit more than just that to it, like, to break it down to a science, like, to be able to give someone, like, show a better age to them, or, like a specific age, without making them look too cute, when you have to make someone look serious, give certain people certain personalities and features, and then, like, neck width, shoulder width, basic stances, how they gesture themselves when they do something. I mean, like, yeah, I don't know, it gets pretty difficult sometimes, like, especially when I went to try to draw, like, old ladies. That was very, that was different, because I was like, what am I supposed to be doing here? Like, I just didn't know how to make him look like a lady. It was strange. How do I even draw hair? I kind of just do this. You know, no, okay, I don't do that. I break it into chunks. Of course, I don't draw the chunks like that. But that's pretty much how it is. It's chunk, chunk, chunk. And if I were to erase chunk, you start seeing some hair forming. And chunk, 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 eye, head. You know, of course, I did it all out of proportion there. But, you know, quick anime nose, another eye. Smile. Chunk, chunk, chunk. But yeah, if you just look at other anime drawings, you will notice you can actually start breaking down chunks they use in their style. And it normally has, like, this variation of this, like this, this, this. You know, it normally has this, like, curve shape, two little things here, and then it almost continues that, but then has some variation to it in some spots. Just kind of do it like that, and it's kind of annoying at first, but you get used to it, and it becomes like second nature kind of thing when you're doing it. But this doesn't translate that well over to really, really long hair. And long hair, you just have to learn a different shape to it, really. That's all it is to long hair, is a different shape. All this is just, like, shape stuff going on. Isn't this fantastic? I have to figure out where to put this bubble that's not there anymore. There's supposed to be a big bubble right here. I mean, I could move this whole thing here that direction. But if I do that, then this part of the arm will start disappearing, and that's important to show, like, it's important enough that it needs to be there. So I have a couple options. I can make them smaller, which is always an option, which I might actually do. Pull them up a little bit, make them a little bit small. What I would do is make them a little bit smaller, because the top of the panel is probably going to end up being right around this area. It's probably going to be more realistically like closer up there, because this is going to have to cut to about right here. This is going to cut up to about right here. So it's going to be higher than I expect. But this is going to go over here. My crop lines are going to get pretty dang close to the edge over here. It's going to be like right here where I'm not supposed to go over for printing margins. I think this will be good enough. I just make sure I do this. Those skinnier. Sorry about the crappy music again, by the way. So, because it's just copyright free music. I'm gonna say music over and over again. Alright, sorry, stop drawing there for a second. Alright. Just in case any of you were wondering why I erased the face there, even though I was doing okay, was she's actually being grabbed onto by her, and it felt too stiff. It didn't. Sometimes the subtleties that you do in a manga, the subtleties that you can do if you have the experience to do them, then make sure to try to do them, and not unnecessary subtleties. Necessary subtleties. Like, this is supposed to be where she kind of comes up, she gets on her shoulder, she puts her arm around her. It's supposed to be kind of a jolting, not actual jolting, like she's not like jumping on her, but if you get on someone, if you keep that other person like a stiff board, which, I mean, there are specific scenarios where this could actually, you could purposely be doing this for specific comical reasons, but I'm going for a more natural approach. Anything comical will have to do with expression in this, so I want to tilt her head a little bit just to give a slight more naturalness to it. Because if you're being pulled a little bit in, like she's getting pushed in this direction, the head's going to start tilting back a little bit because it's heavy, if you ever get pushed forward or whatnot, your head is one of the last things that go forward. Not always, but typically. So just a slight tweak of the head positioning. Here, let me just get these glasses down, and I'm going to look at the comments here. I'm going to draw these glasses better. I'm hoping to start inking this soon, but I got to finish this one up a little bit. This one not too much. This one I definitely have to clean up. This one shouldn't be too bad. Maybe it will be. This has a specific emotion I have to get through. But yeah. Let me get this. Alright, let me look at these comments that are rolling in here. Oh, I see. Are you drawing? Yes, I'm drawing. With a pen or a mouse? I'm drawing on my iPad Pro with the Apple Pencil. Hola, hello, mi lamo. Okay, I don't speak Spanish. I just want to see if I can. At least I believe that's Spanish. But yeah, sorry. I wanted to try to read it, and I'm already bad enough at reading names, so sorry about that. I see. Thanks for the tips. I'm guessing that's about the hair. I gave this video a like. Thank you very much, Don Pon. This is awful. Oh, useful. I misread that very quickly, because that would be funny. This is awful. And then that face. But this is useful. Thank you very much. I'm glad I can help. I'm a little late here. Mind telling me what you are drawing here? I am drawing Ordinal Tempest, my second serialized series. I'm doing 2 series simultaneously, Arms of the Dragon and Ordinal Tempest. Arms of the Dragon will have its first physical volume going to U.S. stores nationwide, next month. And it will also be available for digital and physical purchase online as well for those people outside the U.S. that want to purchase it. But this is the other series that has just recently debuted this year, and this is the second chapter. Ordinal Tempest, it is a mech series. And you can find the link. This is all published with Noir Caesar, and links will be in the description. And you can read the first 3 chapters of this, Ordinal Tempest, or Arms of the Dragon on the website. Did I say chapters? I'm not sure. Pages. First 3 pages. 6 pages. Sorry, I'm a little out of it right now. First 6 pages for free. Wow, this is sketchy, huh, guys? Dang. Alright. Let me just do this here. This. Alright, let's move on. Well, just in case anyone doesn't know, Arms of the Dragon is I'm the artist for that series, and then that's written by John Lawrence and Marcus Johnson, and then this series, Ordinal Tempest, is drawn by me and written by John Lawrence, Marcus, and me. So we're kind of like a 3-team squad. We are a team. Not kind of like a team, we are a team. Let's emphasize on that eye a little bit more. The underlip. Show the disgust. Shouldn't she be leaning a little bit forward? Oh, are you talking about her? One with the glasses? I could be putting this part doing that, but I think I'll just do it like this. There's not much to play with down here to show too much of that motion, on that part at least. Because then that goes over there. Because then she's going to have some breastises here, and it's going to be kind of... it makes it look like she's leaning forward anyways, or something. There's the parts. Alright, let's see. How old am I? 27 sad years old. 27. Made my debut when I was 25. Moved on to do some of my own original work from the place I was at. And ended up getting a offer I couldn't refuse, Arms of the Dragon, and went with it. And a year later, I'm getting my first volume published. First volume with the team I'm working on published. Meet John and Marcus. Yep. Pretty exciting. It's bananas, honestly. It hasn't hit me that a volume's coming out. It's there, like I'm saying it, but it's not gonna hit me till I have it in my hands. And then I'll be like, oh my goodness, it's actually happening. She looks very manly. Forgot the rules. Oh boy, I never put a bubble in this one. How would I describe my art style? I have no idea. A little bit of mix between trash and a dead animal. No, I'm kidding. My style's recently started to develop a little bit more. I'm not completely happy with it, but it's recently started taking some better turns. A lot of the time, when you're drawing manga, you honestly don't have a whole lot of time to think. And you don't have a whole lot of time to study. And it's like, because when you finish something, you just got to get into the next thing. You have to go. And you think, well, you learn from the experience, and it's true, but a lot of the time you're so focused on just being able to get something done that you're working on your natural instincts anyways. It's something I noticed, and I mean, there is ways to work around it, but a lot of the times when you are in a pinch and you just gotta go, you fall back on what you've learned to be able to do it as fast as possible instead of implementing new things because you don't have time to make it better or change it. And those are those times where I'm not gonna lie, I learned a lot though. So it's not something where you don't improve. But sometimes when you don't have time to think and you can only draw based off of what you know and you don't have time to try to learn something new, sometimes it gets kind of hard. That's why when you think about like someone like when you look at a lot of these manga series, you actually think they would get better than they are within how much they're drawing and the time frame that they're drawing this stuff in. Like, just, you would think they would be getting better than they are for how how much they're drawing, but you're under so much pressure to get stuff done. It's just like you don't have a whole lot of time to put in try to learn new things in your brain. In your brain. But it's different. It's definitely different. But I mean, not to say it's not impossible. You can do it. Look at these comments here. Interesting one. Do you ever draw like speed lines? I do draw speed lines. Not in my sketch. I'll just like, if I know there's speed lines, I'll just do this. Like, I don't see any point for the way I do things. I don't see any point in drawing out speed lines in pencil when, like, literally you're going to be following a guideline to begin with, like, when you go to ink them. So me drawing them now, just to trace them, is going to be a waste of time for me. But, yeah, I do speed lines. I mean, unless you're asking if I just use, like, speed lines, screen tones, like, paste them in. I don't do that. There's been a few instances where I have, where it actually fit the panel well. But a lot of time these screen tones don't, like, fit the panel properly. Or, like, basically you need your point to be in a certain area, and I like to do it myself. Because I try to make my stuff look as traditional as possible, even though it's digital. And doing it yourself makes it feel a little bit more traditional, you know? Do you ever draw like speed lines? The lines when people are running. Those speed lines. Yes, I do. I see. I've never heard talk about that. Yeah, it's something that I ran into. I'm sure it's not the case for everybody. Like, when I first started doing this manga stuff, when I started doing it full time, I noticed that I did learn a lot. The first thing I did that I noticed, my stuff didn't look like manga, the truth is, before that, I was working 6 days a week at a fast food job while doing 22 pages roughly about every month and 2 weeks. So I was doing a lot. And I was also, during that time, that's when I was also keeping up my YouTube channel too, just to keep that in mind. Hey, what's up there? Ava G. But yeah, I was doing a lot of stuff, and I didn't have time to think, and that's when I realized I should have been learning more than I was at that point in time. But the moment I got out of my job and stuff, it also wasn't all rainbows and sunshine like you would think, but I did learn more, because the first thing I asked myself when I had the time to think was, why does my stuff not look like this manga that I look at all the time? And a lot of it had to do with, even though I was doing very simple paneling, which you should still be able to make your stuff look like a manga with simple paneling, a lot of it had to do with the angles I was using, and angles and how zoomed up it was, and variants of positioning of that camera, as well as there's certain things that you learn where if he were to talk again, like he talks here, someone replies, and he talks here again, you wouldn't want to do some like completely crazy angle. The angles are really important, because if you look at most manga, there's not a whole lot of above views unless there's a specific reason to do an above view. Because what an above view does is it takes the reader out of the situation. It being at head level, or even just a tiny bit above head level, gives a sense of maybe a person that's taller. But if you do too high above, it takes the reader out of the situation. If you put them at head level, it puts them in the situation. It puts them in the place they would be if they're in the scene. And that's the most common angle you'll see, is slightly below head height. If it isn't above you, this is just a standard. This isn't for every single manga, every single panel. But when there isn't above you, normally it's an establishing shot. It's to catch a lot of people at once if they're talking. Stuff like that. But of course there are some things that break that mold. I just found that to be a pretty good standard when you're looking at manga. And that's one of the things that I broke down for myself, was the reason why it's close to that is either, like head height, waist height, chest height, is it inserts the person into the situation more so than when you go above. Or too far above, I would have to say. Anyways, back to drawing a little bit. We'll look at some of these comments. What's up? The angles, wow. Hey, I'm having trouble with drawing someone in different angles. What do you do to get better? What do you do to get better? One thing I wished I did from the very start was learned perspective and shapes in perspective. You would want to learn 1, 2, and 3-point perspective, because perspective is everything in 2D drawing. Perspective is what creates the illusion of space. Because if you don't know perspective, then there's no space, or you wouldn't be able to portray it properly, because you wouldn't know that the point's here, horizon line, and to create the illusion of space, let's do a 2-point perspective here. If this went that way, connect to this horizon line, that's another 2-point space, and do this. You're able to create the illusion of space on this 2D canvas. Man, I am messing up here. Based on this perspective, the idea that something gets smaller as it gets further away. And learning that, once you know how to draw cubes, cylinders, spheres, which, by the way, spheres pretty much look the same in any angle because it's completely round. So, but you more so you would want to learn how to draw kind of not circles, because circles aren't, they're circles, they're supposed to be perfect, but learning how to draw ellipses, it's very important. Triangles. So basically, you want to learn polygon shapes. So I would have to say cylinders and cubes, whether it be rectangular or whatnot. Those are the most important things, because this is how I always try to explain it to people, is if you know how to draw simple shapes in perspective, what is a human body other than just more complicated shapes? So if you can master learning how to draw simple shapes in perspective, you already know the base to be able to simplify something complicated. So if I were to sit here and want to draw a head in this box, I would draw another smaller box within this box, and then what I do, learning basic anatomy, learning the skull structure would allow me to do this and put in the features of a skull into this perspective here. And then I'll be able to just throw this jaw in. And then from there, man, son of a gun. Here, let me do this real quick. I'm going to copy this. Because this is actually, I didn't know I was going to go this far, but I wanted to actually show you the example of this without completely ruining my drawing. So let's go here. I know I'm going into like a tutorial section, but this is what's cool about some of these things where I can actually start doing this stuff with you guys. Paste. And what I'm going to do here is turn this all the way down. Now that I got that head in perspective, I could go in here and just start, get a new layer. Yep, new layer. Go in here, put a nose in, eyebrow, you know, the cheekbones there. We'll then put this in, jaw, mouth, eyebrow. And it's good to know the anatomy, because then you know why everything's the way it is and where the eyebrow would actually go instead of putting it all the way up here. You know, it goes along that top part of that, you know, huge engraved skull portion, that eye socket portion on a skull. And if you were to want to make this more anime-like, I mean, you would just, you know, you could distort the skull, but I would round some of these features out. And just stuff like that. And if you know this perspective, you would be able to then... Oh, this is really bad. Let's try to be a little more clean, Chris. You know, if this is going in this perspective, you would be able to then do this type of thing here. And know that... putting the upper part of the body into a polygonal shape-ish, square shape. I'll be able to then, let's go right here, cut this. That's 3D. I'm not. That's actually on the other side. It's not actually showing, but I just did that for an example. Let's do this. Let's go down here. Circle here, circle here, top arm, cylinder. This should actually be cut in a little bit more, because the way the body actually goes is like this. But see, that's why it's good to make sure you memorize these shapes when you learn the simplified version of these shapes, but of the human anatomy. But or else this problem will happen, where this shoulder is completely off from where that is. But anyways, yeah, that's how you get better at that stuff. So then you can literally insert a person into any sort of box shape you want, and you'll be able to take them, put them into this box shape. You know, arm sticking out. You know, torso. Let's do this leg. Other leg. Foot. Foot. Legs going up. Arms. 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 Just learning this stuff, shapes and perspective, is you being able to then take any position that you see and being able to then simplify it. Oh, goodness gracious. Why is this stream quality so bad? I'm going to sit here for a second and see if maybe the stream quality gets a little better. I'm also going to pause this video maybe. I don't know why I'd be getting so bad there. Sorry about that, guys. Well, dang. Hopefully the stream quality on that part isn't so bad that you guys ended up not learning anything from it. Zoom up here a lot because that's just so pixelated. Let me see if it got any better here. No, it's still not much better. That's weird. Well, I hope you saw that at least a little bit. But I guess I'll just put these away for now. And I'm going to get back to this now. Why is the stream quality so bad? Maybe if I do this, and I do this. Maybe if I then exit and go back into Clipstudio, maybe my iPad is taking up too much RAM. And it's making it, the stream quality worse. Open. Because it's having too much load on it? I don't know. It seems like that's not the case, I guess. This may just be a new problem that the streaming service that I'm using has. They recently did an update, and this is pretty sad that it's doing this, because I wanted to. It shouldn't be my internet, because my internet should be just fine. There's not much I can do in this situation. I'll draw for a little bit longer here, maybe try to zoom up a lot. And if it doesn't get much better, there's not much I can do. But yeah, there won't be much I can do, but either leave it like this, or I'll probably have to end the stream. But yeah, I don't know what's going on there. Oh. I guess the stream quality isn't that bad. What the heck? Maybe it was just let me know if the stream quality is okay for you guys. Because it looked really bad on my computer, then I refreshed the page, and then all of a sudden it was good. So maybe it was just my computer that I was looking at it through a second screen. Hello there. Your life like a sexy avocado. That live life like a sexy avocado. That's a nice username there. I like that username. That's funny. Like a sexy avocado. You know they call avocados nature's butter. Nature's butter. Alright, let's get moving on here. Don't want to make this face too skinny at the bottom here, because if I make it too skinny, it's going to look weird and have an unnatural downward look to it, which I don't like doing. If I do that, it's going to look too strange. I'm going to make sure it has a nice balance between... Correct. Hello there, Lesang Tran. I just got done with a little bit of a tutorial-ish stuff that was completely random to the stream. Someone asked me something, so I did this on how to get better, and I talked about perspective and stuff, and how perspective affects everything. Is what creates illusion on a 2D canvas of space. And I did that for a little bit to show you guys. Which, by the way, I hope that helped for anyone who was around when that was happening. I do truly hope it helped. But yeah, as boring as perspective is, it is if you want to draw things and if you want to make things look accurate, and you're not drawing some abstractual paint slapped on a canvas by a 2-year-old, with color theory, a little bit of color theory added into it with shapes. If you're actually trying to draw somewhat accurate people, you're gonna need to learn perspective. And it will be a foundation that will be so worth learning. It'll take your art to the next level when your brain is ready to move to that next level. So I'm drinking some coffee. And it's not just practicing stuff. The way to get better is obviously you always hear it, but you got to practice a lot. Consistently. I think consistency is the most important thing. More so than anything. Like, for example, if someone took only one day out of a week and practiced that whole day and then didn't practice the whole week, our minds aren't built to take that information and keep it from that one day. It's not built like that. It's built to through like day-to-day repetition, memorizing from that type of stuff, because our brain stores things into a short-term memory. Everyone's different, but just in a general, our brains store things into the short-term memory and then decide its worth based on if we recall it again. Almost that's how I interpret it. It pretty much determines its worth and if it should dump it or not in the short-term memory. And if it should put it into your long-term memory, if you recall it or not. So I would have to say consistency is the best track to success. Consistency in practicing the right things. And it's always important to have fun too. That is very important. But if you want to get better, you're going to have to learn some of the things you don't want to learn. But if someone were to practice an hour a day, every day, doing the same thing, each one of those hours every day, they're undoubtedly going to get better at it. So, I mean, just think about that. Like, for example, if someone were to, it's just anything that you do, and that's why they do school sessions like that. Half an hour every day, or an hour every day of classes, Of course, not every day, because we have weekends, and holidays. Because everyone hates school, so you gotta have weekends. No, okay. I've been drawing for around 3 hours a day, every day for the past 3 years, and I'm still garbage. Well, I mean, sometimes there's just no hope for some... No, I'm kidding. No, I would say, I mean, everyone improves at a different rate, too. But I would have to say what you practice is also very important. Because I know this isn't the case, but I'm just going to say, if you only practice circles for 3 years, you'd only be good at circles. So you always have to take a new approach, and you got to learn like new things that'll take you to the next level. Like, undoubtedly, if you learn perspective and shapes in perspective, you'd be able to draw people in perspective eventually, and then you'd be able to then build your own style upon those people in perspective that you're drawing, those plain people in perspective that you're drawing, and build your own style upon it, because you will know the base, and it will be easier to insert things that you like into that those situations that you're creating, that you know how to create based on the knowledge and everything that you built upon those bases. And that's what's helped my style start really developing, is I'm starting to have to think less and less about the nitty-gritty stuff, like perspective, and I'm able to focus more energy on my style of it, because once I get down to perspective and I know that this is the perspective, oh good lord, this is the perspective, this is the vanishing point, that would be where it is, I understand box, stuff like that, everything goes towards it, I understand where to put everything. And once I nail that down for something specific I'm doing, like a specific drawing or panel, I would then be able to, go from there and kind of just focus on style based on the shapes I know that are supposed to be there to create what I want to create. Or maybe I'm just a crazy man and none of this makes sense. Because that is always a possibility. I don't like that. I like the way I did it before. But remember, I didn't say you would become like a master in 3 years if you did this stuff. I mean, no one could become a master. Really depends on what you consider a master, I guess. Because, it would be very hard to become a master of something in 3 years. But to become very knowledgeable about something in 3 years is possible. Depending on the amount of effort put into it and the right kind of studying. I say the right kind of studying, not like blaming a person for like doing something wrong. I'm saying it based on something that I've done. Kuzo is master. No, I am not master. I am not master. I'm just basing this off of my failures and what I've learned. I learned that I was learning the wrong things. I was teaching myself the wrong things, and it held me back. Okay, so this is something where I don't know how to do very well. I don't have to really think about it. Because the perspective is here, her waist is... That is her torso and her waist. How would she be standing? Do I want to take this approach? Have this leg be coming forward? Do I want to take this approach? She's just doing the splits in midair. Which obviously that was a joke. There's no such thing. There was no such thing in this scene. Alright? No such thing in this scene. Oh no. The writer. One of the writers is here. Vermilion Knight. He is the script writer and original concept of Ordinal Tempest. Me, him, Marcus all create the story together. We write this baby together. He saw me putting her in the splits position. In fact, I wrote the script just now and have her doing splits. If you are practicing, I'm always watching. Yo, what's up, my peeps? Hello, Pello Head Creations. Big brother. Okay, now I'm just reading comments, I'm not drawing. This is the page so far. John. You find out live that I'm actually randomly killing off one of the characters. Just like... This page is awful. Ordinal's cancelled. Get out of here. I just use Procreate. Hey, like the channel, bro. Thank you very much, Oliver Calliston. And is the Clipstudio subscription worth it? It depends. If you're using Procreate, I say use Procreate. You know, there's no need to get like if you're doing this just to learn and still as a hobby a little bit. There's no real need to get Clipstudio. It is good to learn it, but if you're still in the learning stages of things, Clipstudio would be more for being able to actually produce, like something that you would want to actually go to print professional stuff like that. For someone who's still learning, I wouldn't say it's a necessity. It may not be worth it off the bat. That's for sure. But yeah, that's just my opinion on it. But I mean, like, if you have the money for it, go for it. Like, it'd be awesome. I mean, because the more familiar you get with the program as you grow with it, the easier it will be to make it your, like, super fast program that you know the ins and outs of once you get more professional. So that's the upside to it. But as it is, Procreate is just fine for drawing. It's great for drawing. Like, I use Procreate for all my paintings. I'm having a very difficult time with this because she is standing here. Butchered my name, but it's fine. Thank you. Thank you very much, Pellowhead. Thank you very much. Take this money before it goes in the stripper's G-string. Oh, good lord. The stripper... We could just put the money right here for now. Just for your sake. You'll take that? Get out of here. Thank you very much again, Pellowhead Creations. Thank you. And at this point is when the video gets demonetized for putting money in a G-string. You guys are awesome. And when I say you guys, I mean only Pellowhead right now. Get out of here, Vermilion Knight. No, I'm kidding. Demonetize the moment I cannot even read your comment or else I'll get demonetized. Good gosh, I need to get this done. I need to get this down. Okay. I need to figure this out because I'm just kind of chilling here. Like, because it's kind of frustrating me because I don't know how to do this one. Oh, and yeah, let's erase this. You just wanted me to laugh. Well, you got me to laugh, and you got me to draw something on the character of this manga. Need to find good brushes for inking. I don't know if it feel right. Yeah. It's definitely something to play around with. I mean, I don't really know what you mean. It took me a while to get brushes that I actually appreciate, that I like enough, and I'm still always switching it up. Still now, like, just for my last chapter of Arms of the Dragon, I switched up the tool. The beginning of this chapter, I switched up the tool. Yeah. I've been switching up the tools, like, non-stop. Because it's like, one day I'm like, yeah, this is great, and the next day I'm like, nah. Nah. That's the stupid part of the freedom of digital art that I don't like. Is like, I love the G Pen, and I wish it was just like, bam, exact G Pen for digital art, you know? But it's not like that. Just don't work like that. I think I could probably. Well, gotta do my online classes, aka learning, drawing, hands and feet. Alright, well, just drop in and give me money. Jeez. And leave. No, I'm kidding. Thanks very much, man. And good luck with drawing hands and feet. That stuff's hard as... I was gonna say demonetizable words. That is hard as poop. So good luck with that. I'll see you next time. I need to find a... also, do you draw with your wrist or your arm? One of my friends told me that drawing with your arm... John, sorry, I just read another comment down below. Okay. One of my friends told me that drawing with your arm is the way to go, but I feel awkward to do to me. Yes, I wouldn't say just drawing with your arm is the way to go, but drawing, I wouldn't say focus on it too much. It'll come natural to you. There's sometimes when you're using everything at once. And it's something that you shouldn't focus on too much. Though, while drawing circles, you will notice that when you're drawing small circles, you're using your fingers mostly, your fingers and hand. Like, you're not just moving your fingers, but it's like your hand is making the motion. But if you're drawing something bigger, you're starting to get into the territory of using your whole arm and part of your shoulder. Like, it all really works together. But yeah, bigger circles, you're going to end up start using your upper arm. If you're doing a big line, obviously, if it's something that your hand can't do on its own, you're going to have to move your arm to do it. So that means so basically, if you're doing a bunch of small lines like this, you're not sitting there moving your arm while doing these lines, because you don't need to move your arm for big lines like that, or small lines like that. They're just small lines. You're using your hand, your fingers and hand, and your wrist maybe. If they're bigger lines, you start getting into wrist motion. If they're bigger lines, you start getting into arm and shoulder motion. And that's where it should really just try to be more natural about it. And when it comes to that point, kind of, if you're really having the problem, then you might be able to look at it and be like, okay, I think I need to use more of my shoulder here, but I wouldn't focus too much on it, because it's not like we're throwing a baseball here. But, I mean, logically, your friend is right in some portions of what we do. So he is right, but I just wouldn't focus on it too much. Like, there was someone that asked me, is it good to focus on a different part of the drawing while drawing? Like, and that was an interesting question, because my answer is no, but yes. It's something that may come when it comes, and there's a reason for it when it does come. Basically, if you're drawing an eye, and you technically... okay, so you know how to draw the eyes by themselves already. If you don't know how to draw the eyes by themselves, if you're looking at the other eye while you're drawing an eye, you don't know how to draw, the eye's going to turn out like crap. So you're trying to work on two things at once, that one of the things you don't even know how to do very well to begin with. So that was my point with when the person asked me that, is that you want to make sure you know how to draw what you're drawing first. And the point of drawing something in one area but looking at the other part is to make sure you're putting it in the proper spot. And if you don't know how to draw that specific thing you're trying to put in that spot, it's not going to help. So it comes when it comes. That's a technique to use when you know how to do something specific. So these kind of things kind of, yeah. V-O... theory. Okay, I don't even. Oh, the other eye theory. I could not break those words apart in my head for a second there. I was like, died. But yeah, when you hear these technical things, they are for a specific, sometimes they're for a specific level that you're at, and it won't help you when you're still learning specific things. So take them to heart, remember them, maybe give them a try, and if they're not working for you, then there's a big chance that it just may not be either be for you, or it may not be the right time for you. It's kind of like someone telling you how to draw a full body in a landscape when you don't even know how to draw a head and hands. And anatomy. It's just you need to make sure you got certain things down first. But bro, your style is so nice. Thank you very much, Luna. It's something I've been developing for a while. Well, okay, I wouldn't say I've been developing. This is something I also talk about as style, is my style recently started to take a whole new level of developing because of what I've started to learn about perspective lately. So perspective has started to become the backseat to me. I before I didn't know it enough to the point where I was always focusing on it. And I had to focus on, in order to get stuff done, I had to focus on getting the perspective right more than I could focus on style, I guess you could say. Or making things look pretty. And making my lines feel how I want them to feel. But once you get that stuff engraved into your head, like that perspective stuff, it just kind of, your style will come on its own. And if it doesn't just come on its own, it took a while. I've been drawing for a long time, and there's times where I thought a style was coming and it didn't really come. It had a flop. This dude, your YouTube name, Eat This. I like that. I like that YouTube name, and then it is pretty much all. Wait, is that Deku's face when he did the All Might face? Hello there, Eat This. Holy poop, I forgot this guy's design. I'm going to leave that there for now. Alright, let's get to some inking real quick. And I'm going to ink a tiny bit. And then we are probably going to be ending this stream soon. Before the stream ends itself. Because that does happen. Because of the program I'm using doesn't like me going over a short amount of time. So let's maybe see if we can ink this very first panel before it cuts out. Because if it cuts out, it also chops off a portion of the stream, which I do not like. And just for any people new in here that don't know what the hey I'm drawing, I'm drawing Ordinal Tempest, published with Noir Caesar, written by Marcus Johnson, John Lawrence, and Moa, and also illustrated by, obviously, I'm not drawing it here. This is actually a machine drawing it. No, I'm kidding. I draw it. And, yeah, you can read the first 6 pages on noircaesar.com, Ordinal Tempest. This is the second chapter. It's awesome. You don't want to miss it. I'm threatening you to read it. Let's just put it that way. If you do not read it, I will... No, I'm kidding. No, I am not threatening you. I will just sick Vermilion Knight on you. Alright? Did you guys want to see a little teaser of... I'm afraid to go into my... Oh, no, I can... I was gonna go into my photos to show you guys a teaser ink of some of the other pages, but I just remembered something that I screenshotted earlier for the writer. It was a joke drawing I did that cannot be on this stream. Let's just put it that way. And I am glad I stopped myself just now. Vermilion Knight is the writer for anyone who doesn't know, so he knows exactly what I'm talking about. Oh gosh. That would have been so bad. Okay, I need to look at some of his comments here. Kuzo will tell me he's inking a page, and I'll be like, oh, cool. I'll see it later today or tomorrow or something. Freaking next hour, it's done. Holy moly. Thank you. Drew the character so fast. I normally draw the characters faster than this. I'm doing poopy right now. I'm the person of monster. Oh, good. Senpai, please notice me. And though you already notice me, I notice you eat this. Yes, please, as long as you notice me. Oh gosh. Oh no. Why do you still have that? Demonized hentai demon. Close, Luna. Close. Senpai. Oh, good lord. There's a lot of lot of stuff going on in these comment section. I'm starting to sound like Davidoc. Okay, I'm gonna drink my last bit of coffee I have here. Alright. Gotta do this before the stream ends. Alright, calm down. You can now dive peacefully. Okay, when I said calm down, I didn't mean like, dang. No, I'm kidding. %. Just need to check the. Alright. I can add that face on his. Such me as lines. Luna, I agree. Ayo! Hello, Sage Empress. Empress. Thank you. I'm still... One of the things I'm really still working on is really my inking style. That's something, my balance between blacks, whites, screen tones, all that sorts of stuff. That's something that hasn't really set in, started developing too much of my style. Still working on it. But yeah. Oh goodness, cross-eyed. Let's not go there. A little further out. Yep. Alright, let's do that. And the reason why I'm not going so detailed, if a lot of you might have heard me already talk about this, is it's closer up. So, because typically we would be seeing it at a distance like that. If you're seeing it in manga form, you're going to see it, for me at least, because the size of my screen, you're going to see it probably about this size. I don't like how this is coming out. These lines are shit. Oh, Kuzo, I'm not paying you for. What am I not paying you for? Get out of here. How dares you? Move of awkward silence. Alright. Get the fuck. I don't like the way these eyes look because it looks like he's looking directly at the floor. And that is not who he's talking to. He is not talking to the floor. Or is he talking to the floor? Darn it, but then if I do that, it looks like he's pissed. The problems. He is, because I'm the floor. Keep his eyes blank. He's just... There we go. We got it. Yeah. Oh gosh, we're crazy. We're crazy people. You know what I'll do? I'll have him look up, but I'm gonna make his eyes smaller. Compromise. I'm gonna have him look upward, but I'm gonna make his eyes smaller, which, in this situation, could work for what he's saying to the stature of the person he's saying. Could come off as a, oh no, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Just letting you guys know, I've been sitting over listening to the good music in my headphones. Because if I listen to this music while I'm drawing the whole time, it ruins my mood. And the stream definitely is not as fun when it's like that. I wish I could listen to good music, but I'll just get demonetized. And if I get demonetized, how else am I going to buy the new iPad and review it for you guys? Because I know that's the only reason why you follow me. No. Alright. Since Lance is sometimes a little scary poo, I think this might work for his expression. Because there's even a little sweat droplet here for the stature of the person he's talking to. Maybe even put that a little under his eye. Should we do that, Mark? Should we do that, John? Should we give him a little smirk? It's one of those, like, kind of awkward. It kind of gives off, with the sweat droplet, the eyes, and the eyebrows, it gives off that impression that he's, like, saying something that, since it's to a person of stature, it shows he's intimidated, you know. And you just saw the edits live on what it was and now what it is. We edit things live because that's what we do. Now it's manga to go. You will see more of the ink right after the break. Okay, breakdown. That's good. Yes. Good God, that's horrifying. Bad. Oh no. That you. Now you sleep on the ground. I'm a year-old child with a great grandkid. Want to buy me? What? I don't even know what's going on. What the hell is going on in this chat? And now, taking my hypothetical whiteout, if I was a traditional artist, and come in here to give a little bit of whiteout effects here. Okay. Background? No background? Background? No background? Background? No background? Background. Background, no background, and then I put in a really crappy background. Oh, goodness. The problem is the thing that's showing over here really isn't complicated. It's like a side of a wall. There's no way to try to just make it look pretty or something. I mean, I can use hatch marks or something, but... Maybe? No. Since there is 15 people here, I guess I'll start inking the next panel real quick, but I cannot stand much longer, because it is almost 9 and I have to get ready to go somewhere. All right. I erased that line to make it better, and it turned out literally just as worse. Okay, I'm thinking I just suck at doing lines in that direction. And you'd be like, well, why don't you flip the canvas? Well, I want to learn how to draw lines correctly in that direction. If I can't, I need to learn. Because I'm not one of those people that's like, I don't know how to draw a face from one direction, so I'm going to flip a canvas and do that. You're just giving yourself weaknesses. Who wants weaknesses? I do. Gotta go. See you later. Eat this. Good to see you here. Thank you for dropping in. And your over-enthusiasticness was still nice. Still nice. Okay, he says, what you know me? I know who. Eat this hair. Me? Ooh. You is the hobo I found in the market. No. Kuzomari, do you play Fortnite? I do not play Fortnite. I actually don't really play much video games at all. Even though I love video games, I don't play them much because they're like my worst enemy. Bro, gotta go up. Read that one. How old are you? I am 27-year-old, sadly. Hi, random question. For a page like this, how long does it take you from start to finish? I started this page very fastly and roughly right before this stream. So this stream has pretty much been me doing this whole page. It really depends on the contents of the page, how much backgrounds there are, how many people there are. It can take me anywhere from 2.5 hours to 8 hours. It just depends. But yeah, normally 2.5 hours to 8 hours. Yep. I'm definitely turning into a cartoon character. Yep. Ching chong. Okay, I need to stop. If you notice, I cut them off there because this part will not, after this line, it will not show up in print. This is the gutter, or this is the trim. So most of the stuff in this area won't even show up anyways. It's actually supposed to be cut right here, but I have to draw it past that just in case. So, you know. You can interpret that in any way you would like. Let me see it here. Kasim? See ya. Oh, you gotta go here? You should start playing it. Awesome. See ya. Alright, you're going up. Thank you for joining in, and I'll see you next time. I don't really, yeah, just in case, yeah, I don't know. You should start playing Fortnite. It's awesome. I'm sure it is awesome, but I don't know. Like I said, video games are my worst enemy. That's something I've talked about before. And it's mostly because for some reason video games kill my inspiration to draw. And they also, for some reason, make me not be able to draw very well. I don't know what it is. It's just something about them. After playing video games, I just suck at drawing. I have no idea what it is. I'm beginning to think I'm just stupid, but so yeah. Well, I am 20, and I just started working on my art. Any advice? Perspective. For one, you want to have fun, because there's no use in drawing unless you're having fun. But to actually learn, you're going to have to learn some fundamentals. To further yourself better, learn faster, you're going to have to learn some fundamentals. But definitely do stuff that's fun, when you can. But to get better, and learn more about drawing specifically, learn the fundamentals of perspective and shapes in perspective. Doing 2-point perspective, 3-point perspective, 20-point perspective. No, I'm kidding. But, 2-point, 1-point, 2-point, 3-point perspective, and then shapes in those perspective, because the way I always explain it to everybody is perspective is what creates the illusion of depth within work. Within a 2D canvas, within drawing on paper, is the illusion of depth. And if you can draw simplified shapes within perspective, what is a human body but just more complicated shapes? So if you learn how to draw simplified shapes very well, you'll be able to move on to complicated shapes and be able to draw humans in perspective. Erase that little guy here. I think I'm going to cut that a little too low. fuck? Oh. Fudge. The fudge. I did not say anything else. I was child friendly. I'm family friendly. Family friendly channel here. Don't demonetize me. Are you self-taught? Yes, I am. I'm trying to self-teach myself. Well, eat this. That is interesting. Soon the same here. Cool. Yeah. Yep. I'm self-taught. If you want to learn something, you'll learn it. If you want to learn something, you go out of your way to learn it. And if you really want it, you'll do it till you want to throw up. And you will learn it. But yeah. Well, if you want it that bad, you would be trying harder. See, there's different levels of wanting something. And, if you want something bad enough, you'll get it. Kind of like the concept of, if you want a cookie, there's a cookie available, you'll get that cookie. That's an easier example because cookies taste good. If you like cookies. But you have to want it enough to be able to push yourself to those lengths. To learn. Because to get to a certain level in art, no, a lot of the stuff is definitely not fun. But the reward in the end is great. I mean, I've pushed myself to the point of asking myself, is this what I want to do? Is this really what I want to do? Because I was behind as an artist, and I knew I had to catch up to all these other people, and I knew the only way to catch up was to work harder than them to get better faster, at a faster rate than they are, to catch up. And I had to make sure I did that, so I put myself through just eating crap. Eating crap. Basically working myself to the bone. To the point of asking yourself, do I want to do this anymore? Because you just put yourself to some other level of pain. Pain that you wouldn't put yourself through unless what you're doing is what you know you want to do. Because when you ask yourself, is this really what I want to do? Only a little bit later you say, of course it is. What am I talking about? That was the stupidest question. Alrighty, let me read the rest of these comments, and I gotta get going here. I pretty much finished this panel. This whole thing's gonna be like screen tone, but I don't screen tone, when I'm doing just inks. But, yeah. To seem here, I feel. Oh yeah, I read that. And then just do it every day, for sure, for sure. That's another way of doing it. Just sometimes you don't have to push yourself the way I did it. I had a different timeline for my life and when I wanted to get somewhere, and that's why I put myself in that situation. So everyone's different, but that's how I went about it. So you don't have to do that to yourself, but you definitely strive to be better at whatever you do. That's how we become better as humans. Strive to be a better person, a better artist, better anything. Anyways, inspiration. How many hours did you do? I'm thinking you mean do I draw a day? At the very least, I draw like 7 hours a day. Normally, it's like 12. But, anyways, thanks. See you later. And, I can definitely relate to that. I'm older and more behind than you, so I need to work much harder than you, I feel. And honestly, this is something I've been kind of promoting, is it really is studying smart too. And I talk about that and people ask me what that means, and it's just knowing to study the bad thing, knowing to do things that are fun to keep yourself loving what you're doing, but knowing to work really hard at the stuff that sucks, the fundamentals, in order to push yourself to be able to understand everything else that you're gonna go into later on. But yeah, holy 7 hours. Hey, shameless plug here, but anyways, guys, except for that shameless plug, hope to see you next time. Lethal Mind. Thank you everyone for joining in. Hope you guys like what you see. I was drawing Ordinal Tempest once again, the Mech series. I know there was no mech in this, but there will be. There was mechs in the first chapter, and there's more mechs at the end of this chapter. Anyways, I will see you guys next time, and thank you for joining in.